Greetings everyone, and a very warm welcome to the final session of our Vassa 2026. It's a great privilege and honor for us to have Ajahn Kongrit, all the way from Skiptvet Buddhist Monastery in Norway, who's just joined us. Ajahn is actually viewing us from his a small device. So he wants to make sure that he's seen properly and can be heard properly. And so if you can turn on your device and show him how you look like, I think it will also be, very nice for him as well. Okay, now that we're all gathered here as a global community, let's all put our palms together and offer our 3 respectful bows to Ajahn Kongrit. First bow, please. Second bow. And third bow. Okay. So may we please invite Ajahn to please begin the session with a short guided meditation.
We sit properly in the posture that we are familiar with. The technique that we use, it depends on what we like to do, and then we got a good result. If you try to be in the present moment with the breath, that is quite something that many people like and many people does. When we try to meditate, and especially we in the environment that we think, now I'm going to meditate, it seems like we change from one pattern to another pattern. Sometimes it can be good to remind ourselves, now I am meditating. But sometimes can be a little bit daunting, because especially when our meditation result is not as good as we like it to be. And then when the word meditation comes into our mind, we tend to be tense, tight, difficult. If we think with the mind as we're looking after our loved one, our young kids, our dogs, our cat, if we think in that way, our mind sometimes it act like that. To let it be alone and plain, it seems to be easy for them. But when we try to sit them up and do something we like it to do, sometimes it's quite difficult, and it turns to be difficult situation and suffocated. Like we breathe in and breathe out all day long, we don't have any problem actually. If we're not ill, we're not sick. But when we try to meditate with the breath, especially many of us might practicing anapanasati, and we try to learn from the scripture. Breathe in long, we know we breathe in long. Breathe in short, we know we breathe in short. And just breathe in long and short, sometimes it creates a lot of tension in our body and mind already. That is not all the case. Some people might not have that problem. Sometimes we just want to breathe in and breathe out normally and make our mind be stick with the breath. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't work well, especially when we're not really skilled with our meditation object. But if we just be with it, make attention, pay attention, and see what actually is in the present moment. We might not recognize long or short. We might not see the breath all the time. Just let it be. Sometimes we just let go of the control. It can work quite well, actually, because most of us, we like to do well, we like to do good, and many of us quite experienced in our practice. But even though we might have a lot of experience in what are we doing, the experience that we have create some tension, and we not get the result what we expect. We doesn't get the result that it should be. So instead of control everything like we like to control, just observe or let the body breathing. We're not doing anything. Just let our body breathing in and breathing out, short or long, and we can say later. We can recognize later. We no need to follow the book all the time. Because following the book all the time, it control too much and make our mind not easy, cannot let go, cannot let it be. Once I have opportunity to ask one of the senior monks who visited in Skiptvet. The question that I asked him is about rapture. That when we meditate, if our mind start to be peaceful, the rapture start to operate and function, and it occur. But from my own experience, rapture doesn't come when we are sitting meditation alone. It would come when it wants to come. I found it quite handy and quite useful, but to have the master who really experienced, and many people admire his practice since he was a young monk. Even for me, I heard about his name since I ordained. Before I asked him, I just tried to make my mind really clear that I asked because I would like to know it. That always, when I ask the question from the master, I don't want to ask the question because I want other people to know what I'm asking, but mainly I really want to know that answer. And the master, he replied, he quite positive actually. He said, yes, rapture comes when it want to come, when our mind is ready. We don't need to sit naked or in the meditation posture before rapture comes. It's like a defilement, the kilesa. When it want to come, and we don't need to meditate first before this is my commentary, before the defilement occur or show up. It appear when it's the right time for it, when in the right situation. The meditation as well, when we start to meditate, we don't need to control too much. just let it be. Let the body breathing. To let the body breathing and to breathe by ourselves. It's quite a thin line. And because we is our body, what we hold. And to control our breath, breathe in and breathe out, it's quite different from we just let it go and breathe in and breathe out. Not much different because the body is still working on with the breath, but the sense of controlling that we have, it helps quite a lot. Observe, we are the third person and the second person, not the first person. We just see our body do the action, breathe in and breathe out. What we are doing right now is just observe. When we observe like that, we start to see the body do its works. And then we don't need to control it. We're just aware about it. And when we do that like that, the tension of controlling, the tension of I need to do something, now I am practice, is gone. When the tension is gone, the body just acts according to what it needs to be done. And our mind, instead of we control our body to breathe, we just be the observer, pay attention, and see it doing its job. And we can do more. We can do quite easily. We don't need to try to set up the environment, try to set up the posture, try to set up everything to make our mind peaceful. Instead, we don't need to control like that. We do the best we can do, observe as much as possible, relax with it, and see the body working. Breathing in, let it breathe in. Breathing out, let it breathe out. Breathing in long, let it breathe in long. Breathing in short, let it breathe in short. When we start to do like that, and we compare with the thing that we familiar, the control, and see the result, it might be easier or it might not work. If it works better, because the technique, it can be so many techniques, but when it works better for us, we just keep what it works better. When we do like that, we start to see that even breathing in and breathing out, simple thing like this, can be so many techniques, so many approach. Instead of controlling our breath, our body, we observe, we let it be, we let it relax, and we start to learn more about our own breath. And when the result, it yield the result, when the practice yield the result, we can see the first step in our mind start to be calm, raptures come, show up, and our sensation around the body quite easy, enjoyable. When the result, even the small thing like this, showing up and make our mind relax, and our mind tend to like something that make our mind easy, our body easy. So our meditation yield a result, and then we like to meditate more. The more we like to meditate, the more we skill with our meditation object. The more we skill with our meditation object, the more we earn more result. The more result that we get, we earn from the meditation session, the more we like to practice. It supports each other like this again and again. That's how we meditate. Now we can move to another section.
Thank you, Ajahn. We shall now request for the Dhamma. Cheryl.
Thank you, Thanajan, for the guided meditation. I will now request for the Dhamma talk. Brahma Jaloka Dipati Sahampati Kadam Jalian Divarang Ayachata Santi Tasata Parajaka Jatika Desitamam Anukam Imam Pajam.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke apiccato manassanti ito parang sakacang dhammo so tapoti. As a practitioner, the one who interested in practicing Dhamma, we can see ourselves that the practice itself is up and down, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not like what we expect, especially when we fail in what we tend to think who we are. We always want to make it better, but as a human being, an ordinary human being, we not always successful in what we are doing all the time. And many people even want to give up because it seems that the practice it doesn't give any good result many times. And people ask why I practicing so long and many years. I learned a lot, but my mind didn't develop much. It seemed to be the same, sometimes even worse, because when we know more, we learn more, we would like it to be according to what we learn. I remember when I was a young monk, to learn we study how to learn about Buddhist teaching, and many of them are not familiar, especially from the Thai word. We use the same word, but different meaning from Pali. And once I remember, I argued with the Dhamma, it's supposed to be the teaching of the Buddha, and the Buddha taught us that everyone in the world except Naran are Vipallasa. Vipallasa in Thai it means crazy. And then I could not accept that because I'm not crazy. Why the Dhamma says so? And need to learn to understand actually the word that we use. And sometimes it's not what in the content of the Dhamma teaching. And sometimes to make the teaching more beautiful and soft, and people don't pay much attention, especially nowadays. Many people very keen to create content for social media. Sometimes it's quite funny, sometimes it's unbelievable how people say things like that. And what is shocking me is many people, even they talk in Dhamma, they use quite a rough word. In the old day, in Thai culture, we could not do that. If we say things like that, it impolite. And nowadays, people, when they start to talk in Dhamma, they refer to themselves that it's quite rough, it's quite coarse. And then when I was a young monk, Ajahn Buddhadasa is the first person who referred to Dhamma. He used when we cling, we start to see me and my, like ตัวกูของกู the word กู that it rough for the monk to use, and it stir many people up because the way he use is it rough, but actually when we talk to ourselves, we refer to ourselves like that. But to use in the Dhamma scene, it seemed to be impolite. And the way he used, especially when he used the word stupid itself, yes, we are from time to time stupid, but to make the word to come out from the respectful senior monk, it can be quite challenging. But because of experience that Luang Por he have in giving teaching to the audience, many of them, that was about 50 years ago. And many times that he went to give a teaching, and when it's soft, polite, and beautiful, most people just fall asleep. And so he started to see how to make it work for many people. So instead of giving a formal teaching like a Dhammadesana, he started to give as a public speech, and he started to stand or sit on the chair instead of the Dhamma seat. And when someone doing something new, it quite new for many people, people start to complain, but it worked quite well, because of instead of just fall asleep because the Dhamma is so beautiful and his voice is so beautiful. People awake and listening, pay attention and talk about it. And 50 years later, the word ตัวกูของกู when talking about clinking and owning things is still used until now. And it might not be beautiful in terms of the word, but it's understandable. When we meditate too, when we practice too, we could not just only try to keep it beautiful and we like, even though we might want it to be that way. We heard that the Dhamma is beautiful in the beginning, beautiful in the middle, beautiful in the end. But the beautiful in the beginning, we need to understand what we are doing, why we practice. We practice because we see that our life is not satisfied. Even though we might earn a lot, we might have a lot of money for many people, we might have a big family, we might have a lot of education. Sometimes we lost in that, And as a practitioner, we start to see that wealth, education, and health and fame did not help us much. We start to see that eventually we need to come to our own mind to see that our mind, when it's still own and have defilement, something that make our mind not peaceful, make our mind unclear, it means that we still need to work. So we need to find a way to satisfy our mind, to make sure that what we are doing is correct and it's beneficial. When we do like that, we start to see that our life at the present moment is happy enough, but it's not enough for the long run. We start to see that. If we don't see that, we don't see our mind it suffer, we don't need to practice. Because if we already happy, why we need to practice? Buddhism is not important. And we don't talk about other person, we talk about ourselves. What we need to do, what we need to focus on, is like our life is on the journey, especially this time of this time in this environment. So many things that worry us. If we learn about news, we learn about the society, we learn about what's going on in the world. Many people might worry. And yes, it worries because so many things happen and it tend to be in not a good situation. The world seems to be more and more difficult to live in. And we are grow up enough, talk to the young generation, it might think differently. But for us, we can see that the world in the 30 years ago, 50 years ago, is much, much easier in many sense. But if we talk about the difficulty alone, you might think actually technology it changed quite a lot. And in the past, if we have not beautiful teeth, to change it beautiful, to be beautiful, it's nearly impossible. The most people can do in the past, just wrap with the gold in the teeth. That is the most thing that the people can do. And later, they might decorate it with diamond. But nowadays, technology is quite well done. You can rearrange the whole mouth to make our teeth look better. Our appearance, our chin, our skin, our shape of face, the shape of nose, it can be changed too. Yeah. It's quite beautiful actually, it's quite good. And many people focus so much on that, especially the appearance outside, do exercise, do training. We focus on how we look and how fit we are. And in the old day, we talking about eat well, sleep well, and do. If someone eat well, sleep well, it seems to be wealthy. But nowadays, need to be strong, needs to be fit. Talk in a good way, very good. And actually, people care more about the body. But if we talk about the mind, how many people concern much about their mind, about what are they doing? And many might not aware about that at all. And sometimes we just need the money from content that many people try to do because you can earn money and they can do so many things that make anything that make more like people like the content that we do, and we earn more money. That's it. And sometimes we even forget about what we say, how it affects ourselves in the long run. Some people might not think like that. Some people might aware, but the trend is going that direction. And when we say something bad, actually, if our mind start to connect with it and like it, it becomes our own behavior. Similarly to our meditation, when our mind is quite funny, it like what it close to, and when the more it close to, the more it like it, even though it might not benefit the mind itself, but because it's close to that, it start to familiarize with it, and we like it. To practicing Dhamma in the world, in nowadays world, it's like a journey in our life. The journey in our life, in a difficult world, in a difficult situation. Yes, in the old days, we complain like this too. In the old days, life is so difficult. And with the technology, it's going to be better. I remember when I was young, before we can travel to another province and to see our relative, it's not that easy. We might spend the whole day just waiting for the bus. And when the bus comes, and it stops everywhere. And before we go there, we could not arrange anything. We just need to go and see our relative at home or not. If not, if we prepare to wait, we need to wait until they come back from the farm or they come back from their business. Otherwise, if we don't have time to wait, we need to return because we don't have any telephone to communicate, to arrange first, and we need to take it as let's see, go and see, because the journey is not that easy. When we journey faster, we don't need to prepare much. We just call, and sometimes even not even go to see them, just call and talk. And I remember when my mother, she quite old at the time when the phone come into the picture. And at the beginning, my mom don't know how to pick the phone up because new thing for her. When we call, she pick the phone up and just keep quiet, didn't say anything. And because she didn't know what to say, what to talk, he could not see the face. But mom developed quite well, quite quick. And sooner or later, she start to say beautiful word, "Hello, thank you for calling. I miss you so much. And no need to come back too often. Just call more." Yes, because she start to know that the way we communicate and to wait for the grandchild, the child, the kid to come to see her, is not that it could not be more often because we live far, far away from each other. But after, if we have the sense of communication, the mean to communicate, the best she can make, and just to make people call more. And not so long, the video call start to come into the picture. Then we can see that, and the world develop quite well, quite fast. But is it better? Yes, in one sense, it's better. is make ourselves more peaceful, depending on how we use it. Some people might use it well. Some people might use it in the wrong way. And the mean of communication doesn't change much in terms of connect to our mind. When our mind untrained, we always use the communication channel, the transportation in the wrong direction. If we don't use it well. To see the practice that we do, it's like we try to fight, struggling with the work that we are doing. We need to struggling, even eating. We need to train ourselves. Our body is the nature of struggling and fighting. To eat is not easy. People might think it easy. Just put something in our mouth and chew, swallow, and our body do it work. But as we grow up more and more, getting older and older, the thing that we eat, the thing that we like, sometimes it not benefit ourselves. And the chewing is not that easy as it used to be. And the taste is not the same as we used to like. And our digesting system is not working in the same way that it used to be when we were young. And then we need to fight with that. Something we eat more, sometimes we like that kind of thing, but it not benefit ourselves. And it keeps stomach upset. And when we were young, we might do something really fast. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we can finish our meal and go continue our work and move very quickly. It seems to be all right. But when we're getting older and older, if we need to do things like that, it make our body sick. And when our body, our stomach doesn't work well, it affects our body, it affects our mind. And it's quite difficult. That's why we need to learn how to manage in the good manner. We need to know ourselves. We need to know what are we doing, and it benefits us or not. That is when we see it like that, we can see that our life need to adapt, need to learn, and need to make it work. We cannot just say, according to that book, it works like that. We cannot say that. Direct experience, it counts. Even though many people might think that the way we do, the way we are so good, we have so much wealth, we are healthy. At that age, we are so wealthy, we are so well-to-do. Our body seems to be fit enough, strong enough. Sometimes to listen to other people alone, it doesn't work that well. I cannot remember, one of the senior monks told me, but I cannot remember who he was. And the old monk, he ordained when he was 60. After retirement, he became a monk and stayed in Wat Nong Papo. And one day, he went for alms round. In Thai culture, if you have complexion, look pink, look red, it means that your mouth red, your cheek red, it means that you are healthy and you're practicing well. And when he walked to the village for alms round, many people see him and told him, "Oh, venerable uncle, your sila, you keep your sila so well. Your face is red and beautiful." And actually, from the appearance, it's like that. But they don't know what's going on. They thought because his mind is well-trained and practicing in the monastery and he is healthy, But actually, the senior monk, the young old monk, he just got toothache, and his mouth, his chin, his cheek swollen, and he really pain in his mouth because his tooth is aching. But people see him as a healthy. But because as a monk, he trained well, so he just didn't say anything. But he told his fellow monk that I'm having a big pain in my mouth. So we can see that when we are practicing in the world, doing things in the world, the thing that we really need, we can compare from the outside is the wealth. The wealth. If we don't have wealth, we don't have money, we don't have property, it means that we are failure one way or another in other people's eyes. Because to have wealth, you need to accumulate it. You need to learn how to earn it. Not everyone know how to earn it. Not everyone know. The one who know and then be able to earn it is not that easy. It means that we need to train. We need to find a way. When we can do that, when we can earn, when we can accumulate more, it means that we're quite successful in our life. And the next one is what we need is the honor. Kirti in Pali, a reputation. To earn it is not that easy, actually. Sometimes when we earn money, when we earn wealth in the wrong way, people don't honor us. People don't see us as a good person. Yes, they might see us as a wealthy person, but not a good person. And then when we are not good and a reputation going to a wrong direction, and then we love it. We love to have someone praise us. We love to have someone respect us. We need someone to praise us, to see us as an important person. We might not see it in that way, but thinking about when we talk something, nobody listen. Nobody want to come to see you. And sooner or later, we start to feel differently, even though we might be wealthy. And sometimes wealth, it cannot guarantee. Sometimes even make us worry. They come to see us because of our wealth, our property, our what we earn, or they come to see us because they really like us. That it can be worrying as well. So the wealth, the honor. But what we need, the next one is we call Maitri, the friendship. Sometimes people well off, people rich, people have honor, people have names in the society, but nobody like them. Nobody really like them. Like someone who have a lot of worker around them, servant around them. They just be with us without pay much attention. They just be because we pay them, but their heart is not with us. So to have someone helping us with the kindness, they want to be with us because they like us, they love us. This is another way of practice. It's not just only we just do it and we just earn money and we can do anything when we have a lot of money. It doesn't work that way. We need to earn well and learn how to be successful in our life. And when we can do that and say successful in this need to be in the good way, and people can respect us. People can see us as a good person. And we have hierarchy, we have honor, people honor us. And both not finished yet, and need to have someone who have love us, who want to be around us without worry too much. But this one, if we can do like that, it means our journey in the world is quite successful. Our journey. The journey itself is called Magga or Patipata, Patipata in our life. Pata, it means path in Pali, or Makka, it means path. The practicing in the Dhamma, the Sasana, the religion is a path. We walk on the path, but actually in the practicing world, we're not walking on the path. We try to make the path into our heart. The Sasana, the religions nowadays, especially in Thailand, have a lot of bad news around the monk, and people love to talk about that. And I remember then I tried to check the news when Luang Por Sumeto want to return to Amaravati after he went back to stay in Thailand for 10 years. And I really want to check how many news, how many people talk about Luang Por Sumeto coming back to England. Actually, they talk about it in the newspaper, one of the newspaper. It page number 14 or 13. It's not a headline. But if Luang Por doing something incorrectly, it might be in the first page. And I compare that to the society nowadays. We love something bad. We're looking for something it smell bad, and it look nice. It feel a lot of can give a lot of attention because people don't like good thing. It doesn't mean everyone like that, but it's just the main society. Sometimes when the news come into the media, instead of be aware of what's going on, and many news just act like just already. It's wrong already. Anyone have a bad news, the news on the newspaper, people just them already. They are really wrong, and sometimes when it's not wrong, they just keep quiet. They didn't even apologize, and that's why to connect to the world, to the media, we need to be very careful, not to say much, not to show much, not to make things too big, and keep ourselves in the safe way, safe passage. At least when we be able to earn well, we be able to gain more good reputation, and people around us love us. That is, we are successful in the way that we walk this world. I call it this world because it not just only this world alone. We need to think about the next world. After this world we call Itiloka. When someone who lower than us love us, they can help and can support us. When someone equal to us love us, they have to protect us. When someone who higher than us love us, they can pull us up and make us in the higher state. That's why the Maitri and the friendship is quite very, very important. When we talk about this world, we have these three things: the wealth, the honor, and the friendship, that we're successful in this world. But we need to think about after this, not just only this world, the physical world, the material world, that many people focus upon. But if we think about spiritual world, our mind, how can we be sure that without this kind of thing, our mind is peaceful? We can be with ourselves without worrying too much. That is called Paraloka, the other world. The other world alone, sometimes we might think, after death, it no need to be like that. We just think about wealth, fame, and love, that people around us love us. And if we think carefully, it's not really enough, because we still have something in our mind, uncertainty in our mind. I mean, the world is uncertain, our body is uncertain, everything is uncertain. The uncertainty itself, it can create a lot of suffering and a worrying in our body and mind. So we need to train ourselves well. That's why we who interest in Dhamma come to practice the Dhamma and try to walk the path, try to walk the way, try to put the sasana in the mind. When it imprint in our own mind, that we can guarantee that even though so many things around the world change quite a lot, but the sasana, the religions, it not decline from our mind, our heart. That one. And when we practice more and more, we start to gain a result of the practice. We start to see that we are beyond the world. Beyond the world, it means that we don't care much about wealth, honor, and friendship anymore. We see that we rely on our own understanding. When we understand the world more, the more peaceful that we get, the more peaceful that we get. If we can turn ourselves to be a Riya Pukkala, the noble one, to be the Sotapanna, for example. The wealth in the world is uncomparable to the wealth in their heart. We not suffer compared to ordinary human being, compared to the dirt in the heart of the ordinary human being. The dirt is about mountain, big mountain. And compared to the dirt, that the suffering that still left in the Sotapanna stream entry, compared to the dirt in the fingernails, that very little. If we see that our mind is not peaceful, our mind is not doesn't train well, we need to focus more and more in the Lokuttara, the beyond the world. Anything that we can do. We have wealth. Instead of we lost, dilute in our wealth, we use our wealth in skillful way. Anything we can support the society, anything we can turn wealth to be the quality of the heart. We use our fame in the same way, the good reputation. We live with our reputation. To change our reputation is not that easy, but it's possible if we train our mind well. And human being is intelligent and they know how to think. In the same way that we know how to think, we know how to use our thought. We could not delude them, we could not trick them all the time. Sincerity in our own practice, it makes people love us. The friendship, it comes because of that. And then we can, when we're successful in the three things, wealth, honor, and friendship, instead of we lost in it, and we think it can to support us in the long run, we don't think in that term. We think in how to change it into quality of the heart to make our mind go beyond our own suffering. When we be able to do that, it means that we be able to walk the path, walk the Dhamma better and better. When we walk the path, walk the Dhamma better and better, the quality of the heart, it changed. And then the more we practice, the more we understand, the more we understand, the more we make the practice yield more result. The more result that we get for our heart, the more we like to practice more. It comes back to the situation. That's why when we come to listen to the Dhamma talk, we come to practice. This one is the last session of the Vassa. And we do our best. We try to gain more technique. We try to gain more practice, anything that we learn, anything that we think is useful, we apply and make it work in our heart. Even though many people might see it not important, but when we see beyond the world, we see the Lokutara, we can see that it's really important because wealth, money, fame, and friendship, it doesn't send us that far. We need to rely on ourselves. We're getting older and older, unavoidable, even though we might not like it, but the like and dislike, what we need to go beyond. Atapi sambachano satima vinaya loke apichato manasang atapi ardent sambachano fully aware and satima and mindful go beyond dislike, like and dislike in the world. And like and dislike is to pull us into the world. It seems to be a little, but we, human beings, run after like and dislike all the time. And to make ourselves like anything is the wholesome, kusala, that's very good. Because many of the time then we just like anything that's close to us and familiar to us. It makes us entertain us and make us happy. Sometimes not even a good thing. Not a good thing. A good thing can make us like it as well. Like when we get addiction, for example. Simple thing, we get addiction for that. And to go beyond that, we need to change, we need to learn. That's why we come for meditation, to make our walking the path more skillful. And after we be able to walk more skillful and we earn more result of our own practice, and then the sasana imprint in our heart, even though it might decline in the society around us, but we can make sure that all the teaching or the understanding or kusala karma, anything that is good in the world, imprint in our heart, the sasana never decline from our heart. I would like to end the talk today at this point.
Handamayang Dhamma Kathaya Sadhu Karang Tathamase Sadhu 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 Anumodhami.
Thank you so much, Ajahn. So, brothers and sisters, the floor is now open for questions and answers. Please feel free to click on the raise hand button and invite you to interact with Ajahn and ask him a question. I think but some people, what Ajahn was talking about Lukatara, I've typed in the spelling here for those who are new, which really refers to what goes beyond the ordinary world, freedom from greed, hatred, and delusion. So if you have a question on this particular topic, you're welcome to ask Ajahn. Perhaps, okay, Lajan has a question. The question here is, Ajahn, I'll read it out to you. Lajan, the question is, Ajahn said, when we fake our body, we fake our mind. Could Ajahn please explain more on this?
Fix our body. You repeat again, please.
No. Okay. This person writes that she heard you say, when we fake our body, we fake our mind.
try to understand it, the fix our body, the fix our mind.
Fake. Fake. F-A-K-E. Fake. That means pretend.
F-A-K-E.
F-A-K-E, yes, fake.
Fake our mind. I could not remember that I said that, but the body and mind, it quite connected. It really connected. To do the practice in the Dhamma, we need to learn how to be sincere with ourselves. We need to sincere with ourselves. We call in Pali sucharita. Sucharita, it means sincere. For example, if we like to practice in Dhamma, and then we do in terms of showing off, meditate, for example, and try to sit like a meditator, but our mind wandering around, and attention is not into training our mind, but that attention is to go around to show people that I am a practitioner, for example, that we fake. And when we fake, our mind is not sucharita, and our mind is not sincere, the result, forget about it. We don't get the good result. Even though the good result comes, it's not the result that what we need. And remember, one of the senior monks, he have his robe, is quite dark, and because it's a forest monk, we always dye our cloth with jackfruit, and then the cloth start to be darker and darker, and it doesn't guarantee that when we got a darker robe, our practice going to be better. But many people might see as a status. You got a darker robe, it look like you are like a real practitioner or a forest monk. And nowadays people use forest monk quite vividly and love to talk about that, love to be like that. In the old days, it doesn't work this way. Forest monk have been looked down upon. It doesn't mean that you are a forest monk that people respect you, but the society change, the situation change. Everyone would like to be forest monk and act like one, but still don't follow the teaching of the Buddha. And many people even know better than the Buddha. That's why when we do the practice, we need to be sincere. What are we doing? Not just only pretend. Even though we might perform something, but learn how not to pretend. When we pretend, the result is like we are showing the content in the social media. It's not real. When it's not real, you can see that human being doesn't live that way. We need to live with sincerity, sucharita in our practice. If our practice, we live our life not sucharit, pretend to be wealthy, pretend to be kind, pretend to be practitioner, even pretend to be Buddhist. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't work. If people know, and they just know, it's not the real one, it's not authentic one. So,
Thank you, Ajahn, for answering the question. The next question is, Ajahn, our meditation often begins at a worldly level, calming, focusing, and coping with stress. How can we let it deepen towards Lokuttara realization so that practice truly leads beyond the world?
when we talk about Lokuttara, sometimes we might think that like really high, like need to be got psychic power or really deep, and we might hurt the jhana. People will talk a lot about that. Jhana. When I was a young monk, many monks came back from the senior monk. They talk about jhana. When they went to see the senior monk who got psychic power, they talk about psychic power. And that senior monk performed this, that senior monk dream about this. And then when they went to stay with the senior monk who focus on vegetarian, they come back and then they just focus on vegetarian to Tangka. And the ordinary monk seem to be not capable of doing something that's special, that we think about beyond the world like that. But beyond the world itself, for example, when we relinquish our sense of me and mine, it's quite simple, isn't it? We, from time to time, we don't have the sense of me and mine. Especially when we are fall asleep, that's very clear. Our sense of me and mine is not there. Me and mine come back when we start to compare ourselves with other people. That is beyond the world, the Lokuttara. We can see the Lokuttara in this sense. That all the time that we go beyond me and mine, but we don't pay much attention. We just want the little firm, big result, and we want to sit and be in bliss. Yes, it would be good if we can do like that all the time. But we think in terms of we have Nibbana, the cessation from suffering from time to time. Sometimes we worry. Sometimes the thing that makes us worry, we not worry at all. Even though in the past or in the situation that we worry, the same thing make us worry so much. But when our mind can let go, we see is that actually we don't need to worry like that. I remember one of the movie I watched in the past. The name of the movie, if I can remember correctly, it's called Russian Spy. Russian Spy. He is a spy. And then they found out that he is a spy. It's true that he is a spy. And he is spy from Russia and tried to spy something from American. And because they caution and they tried to do it in the proper way, so they hire the lawyer, but they want him to be convicted with the wrongdoing. So they hired someone who can be the lawyer, but he's not a good lawyer because his profession he didn't work as a lawyer. But this lawyer, he want to do his job as best as possible, as good as possible. And so he tried to learn how that man, that spy, doing thing. But after they connect with each other, he start to see that man not worry so much, even though the situation is. He seemed to show no worry. The show no worry, we can say that they beyond the world, because the situation tend to give us to be worried, but we not worry. It means that our mind, that person mind, is beyond the world. And when the situation didn't make you worry, but that person did not worry, and that lawyer asked the man, the spy, his client, "Are you worried?" And the spy replied was, "Would it help?" And all the time, anytime that the lawyers see the situation should make that man worry, but he didn't show any worry, the lawyer asked him again, "Would you worry?" The question have been asked like that. The answer always, "Would it help?" Then we can say that it's beyond the world. The Lokuttara. When we worry, but we can set our mind aside and see that would it help? we can use in our situation, in our daily life. We worry so much, how much can it help? That if we can go beyond that, then we can say we are in the Lokutara world, the Lokutara beyond the world. Would it help? It help a lot when the situation, it doesn't help at all when we worry, when we concern too much, when we suffer so much in the situation that is not really useful.
Thank you. There is a next question here. Alan, maybe I'll invite Alan to ask the question first before I read the next one. Alan, are you able to unmute? Yeah. Oh, try again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Ajahn. Thanks for the Dharma talk. It resonated with me a lot in the sense that you talked about, kind of moving beyond things like, wealth, money, friendship, which in a way are almost false refuges, so to speak. And in my own practice and in my own life, I find that very helpful, because I find that the world is very superficial. Not always, but there's a lot of superficiality in the world, and dishonesty, lack of integrity, which obviously makes it important for us to practice precepts and things like that. But what I don't have the opportunity in this lifetime to become a monk for other karmic reasons. I have a family and things like that. So what I do find, though, is I find to move beyond this superficiality of lay life, I find I'm just becoming more and more, being more and more in solitude, which is kind of, I suppose, cuts me off from the mundane. But I'm not sure if that's necessarily, it's kind of difficult to get the balance right. So I wondered if you could say something about that challenge for people, that maybe there's other people on the call as well that have the same similar challenge. Does that question make sense? Thank you.
When we see something is not really useful, it's not really important, from time to time, that we need to why we participate. Why we participate? So to be in solitude, when we don't have good friend, better walk alone than how we do. And even the Buddha teaching it like that. It doesn't mean we cut out from the world, but we not mingle with the world. Like the monks, many people might think the monks are ascetic. We don't. In the Buddha monks, the Buddhist monk, we are not asceticism. The Buddha not allow us to cut out from the world. We need to connect to the world. Even building the monastery by rule of the monk, it could not be too far. And then the monk could not determine the not to speak, silent, completely silent, or mukkavatta. We're not allowed to do that. We need to learn how to use it skillfully, and we need to speak in the good way. Learn how to speak. It doesn't mean that people not speak. It's always good. And we need to speak out when we need to speak, when people ask questions, especially when the Sangha asks the question, we could not just not to say it like that. But it's really useful to understand that when something is not supported, better we be far away from it, but and try to keep a relationship in a healthy way. Because if we not, for example, we try to be in solitude, want to do things like the ordinary practitioner does, like for example, don't eat in the afternoon, for example, would like to be like a monk. It can cause a lot of conflict in the family already. But we do in a good way. We not intoxicate ourselves and be with the family in the healthy way. And enjoy with them, enjoy with the kid, enjoy with a family. They enjoy theory. We enjoy with them. It doesn't mean theory nonsense. Yeah, we can see in that way. But if we learn it, just be and learn from it, anything can teach us. Actually, and even from the movie, if we learn skillfully, we can see so many things that it can teach us. Maybe it's not true. And I don't know why, but when I saw someone cry or animal or cry to animal or an animal cry to the owner or someone helping other people, they helping the animal. I don't know they make it up or not, but and I got raptured quite easily. And I see it sometimes it look like it's not real, but it quite cry actually. And then it make sometimes even make me cry actually. And that's why we not cut out from the world completely. We connect to the world, but we try to make it useful and beneficial. And we know that the world is not always sincere to us. Otherwise, they don't call the world. The world it means darkness. So in the Buddhist term, worldly loka is mean darkness. And when we talk about the world, we don't talk about the world, physical world only. We talk about this body. This body, in Thai we call Kwan Sok, one sok. When the width, Yawa, the long is about 1 arm length, and the thickness is about 1 hand span. That is the world. And when we talk about go beyond the world, just come here to this body. No need to learn so much. No need to learn the whole Tipitaka and argue with other people. You don't understand. I understand better than you. Forget about that. Come back to this world, this world, this body. That focus so much on that. So we connect to the world in the third way, to make it healthy and make it beneficial to us, and train our mind, train our body to be healthy, to be long life, to keep our life longer. Why we need to keep it longer? Because we not finished our practice yet. So we try to use this body as long as possible until our mind go beyond the world.
Okay.
What a beautiful summary, Thanajan. And I'm quite sure and quite certain it answers the other 2 questions that I hear about how do we practice. But I also am watching the time because I promised Thanajan that he does have to take leave for his meal soon. And it's a very good conclusion to Vassa 2026. Thanajan reminding us that, there's no need to look out, but look here within ourselves. And from here, this is whereby we better understand the world and transcend the suffering that we all feel and create within our own mind. So with that, we would like to call to a close to today's session and invite Thanajan to lead us in the verses of sharing and aspiration. As we make this sharing and aspiration, and this comes to the end of the Vassa, for all of us who have been here practicing for the last 3 months, let's keep at it. Let us keep towards our sincere practice as what Thanajan has encouraged. And remember the good teachers that we've come across whether it's physically in person or virtually like now. Do send them our letter and our respects to them and support the monastery that they come from as well. So I would like to invite Ajahn to lead us in the recitation, please. Ajahn, I'm going to put the English words on screen.
Okay. Now let us chant the verses of sharing and aspirations. To the goodness that arises from my practice, may my spiritual teachers and guides of great virtue, my mother, my father, and my relatives, the sun and the moon, and all virtuous leaders of the world, may the eyes, God, and evil forces, celestial beings, guardian spirits of the earth, and the Lord of death, may those who are friendly, indifferent, hostile, may all being receive the blessings of my life. May they soon attain the threefold bliss and realize the deathless. Through the goodness that arises from my practice, and through these acts of sharing, may all desire and attachment quickly cease, and all harmful state of mind, until I realize Nibbana in every kind of birth. May I have an upright mind with mindfulness and wisdom, authority and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken my resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge, unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my noble guide. The Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of Bodhi, may darkness and delusion be dispelled.
So friends, brothers and sisters, let us all now offer our respectful thanks to Ajahn as we take leave from him, and we will chant the Arahant closing homage. Arahant Sama Sambuddho Bhagavan Buddhang Bhagavanta Abhivademi Swagato Bhagavatam Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Suparipano Bhagavato Sangha Sangha. So with a lot of thanks and gratitude, Ajahn, we wish you well, wish you in good health, and with all the Sangha as well as Skiptvet, until we meet you again the next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.